One of the keys for Rashid Mezion was to be more physical defensively.
Reset for the Sun on their first trip. It's Neepkins inside, and the banker mistimed, and the putback is good for Kennedy Burke.
It'll be interesting.
Miller off the screen, denied by Wilson.
When you're going against the length and size of the aces, you have to be a lot quicker in your decision making.
Asia Wilson and the force to finish off glass.
And that's what they've struggled with most, is having no point guard who can really get them into that offensive flow.
Jackie Young off the screen, steps.
And part of that came from how Asia Wilson's able to get a deep seal in the paint.
Burke catch and shoot, that's good for Kennedy Burke.
And they'll need a lot of the dominance and dominating on the boards as well.
Here's Wilson to the rim, got it, and Asia Wilson, an unstoppable
protector. She's a capable passer, and she can really facilitate.
Out of the timeout, 8 to shoot for the Sun. Neepkins for 2, and that's good for the rookie out of UCLA. Staggered screen, lob to Wilson, and that's just tough to defend for any team in the country.
And that's where you
got hounded by Van Lith. Swing to Gray, long 2, that's good for Gray with her foot on the line. They might switch it to a 3. Look very close.
I want to highlight, you love to see the defense by Haley Van Lith just keeping Jackie Young on one side of the floor.
Answer by Burke. Reset, 5 to shoot. Burke to roll, the catch denied. Van Lith, 1 to shoot, up high, and gets it.
And that's the way to stick with it for a second chance opportunity.
Here's Wilson, spin move with the right, it's good and a foul. Wilson with 10.
Versus the Aces, she was 2 of 11 from the field, but she gets herself going by playing defense.
The speed, the finish, extending.
But she keeps her head up, able to find her teammate.
Ledger Walker tries it, steps, banker is good for Connecticut. 6th player of the year.
However, what I love what Becky Hammond has talked about Kennedy Carter is Diamond Miller finishes at the rim.
Watts the screen, gets it. 6 seconds. Diamond Miller straight on 3. Nails it for the Sun. With 2.8 to go. Product on the back tour, not there for Morrow. Beers catches, fakes. 3 to shoot. Looks for Ledger Walker, and she finishes. Once down 13. Inside, Smith finishes for the Aces.
Having her defensively a lot quicker to not allow her to get downhill.
Morrow spins, that one goes, second chance is good.
Asked about her leadership, he said, you know, I expect this of her. She knows that this is one of my expectations. She brings good energy. She powers and fuels the game.
Kleiner, a 1-year contract to join the Sun and maybe Houston next year. More on the drive, runner's good. It's funny, I didn't have a chance to ask Becky Hammond this. And Homa drives the blow by and the finish for the left. First points in the W for Nell Angloma.
And
that's the closest city to Mount Rushmore. Is Asia Wilson on her Mount Rushmore all time in the sport as she finishes there.
She does, and makes it really difficult to guard her.
What an answer. It's Edwards with the long 2.
And that's why having Aaliyah.
The crossover, Carter to the basket.
My goodness, Kennedy Carter.
Under 5 to go in the second. Carter the steal. Off to the races. Carter finishes for Vegas.
I just want people to watch Kennedy get to the free throw line a ton. Only 2 of 2.
Burke the spin and the finish fading away.
Position a lot more for Connecticut.
3 minutes left in the second. Jewel Lloyd strokes the 3.
And Jewel Lloyd has such a...
Edwards goes back to work. Shakes the shoulders. Gets the bounce.
Connecticut, the sense of urgency, the intensity defensively has switched from that first matchup.
Edwards, nice step through against Smith, and she banks it in. And she throws it to Wilson. Carter finishes, and Wilson with the assist. That's her third.
Now the turnovers for Connecticut have really hurt every time they've turned up against a set defense of the Las Vegas Aces because they rotate so quickly.
Burke over Wilson, gets it to go.
And that was a quick decision from Aaliyah Edwards, making her take a contested shot.
Miller for three, knocks it down for Connecticut.
And just like that, you string along two good...
What did Rashid Mezion text Lacan a couple of days ago? Get back soon.
What Layla Lacan could do on both ends is really...
Young around, and she scored lead on the road. Thrown away to Edwards. Has Miller. Bounces. Miller denied, but a foul.
Right there, you might want to kick it out. The defense was collapsed on the inside.
Gray with the moon ball three. Chelsea Gray makes it a 10-point game.
She pulls the defense, and that's what opens up Young.
Young, the scoop is good. Sun with 8 to shoot. Beers the catch, the drive-by. Missed an open layup. Morrow stripped. Beers there. That's good and a foul. 8 to shoot on an isolation against Ledger Walker. Wilson, that's good. And it's former Staples Center with Kobe and Gianna. Rivers the steal, bouncing inside. Layup is good. Hits Angloma. Frees up a look. And now reset for Connecticut. Angloma drives, finishes on the switch with the left. Rivers pulls up. Here's Angloma. Kick out. Rivers for three. Buries it. It's a 5-point game.
Best time to shoot.
Couldn't get free. Knock loose. Steal for Rivers. Rivers funnels. Gets it back. Lets it fly. Knocks down another one. Chelsea Gray lobs it out. Wilson for three. That's good for Asia Wilson. First attempt goes down. 10 to shoot for the Aces. Parker Tyus entry. Asia Wilson. Chance at a three-point play, and now with 31 tonight. Skip it out. Ledger Walker for three. That's good, and the Sun heating up from beyond the arc.
Skip past three, probably one of these.
To shoot for the Sun. Edwards lost it, poked away. And here's Lloyd. No look skip. Carter streaks in for two. Parker Tyus. Gray fakes, fires, nails it to beat the clock. And these are folks who've worked games for decades in a lot of places. Van Lith steps and finishes. The crazy rebounder Becky Hammond alluded to. Van Lith strikes for three.
I love the connection.
Okay, 9 on the shot clock. Jackie Young. Chelsea Gray. Asia Wilson. That's her 9th rebound. Beers the step. And the lefty finish for Reagan Beers. Wilson on the overcommit from 13 feet from the logo below the line.
Especially in this second half, what they were able to do.
For 40. Gets the bounce. Gets 40. Asia Wilson here at Connecticut. 5 to shoot, skips it to Van Lith. Wow, Haley Van Lith. 1.9 for Van Lith. Wilson for the encore. There it is. Help comes, and Morrow the sweep against Beers. Wilson jabs, fires, knocks down the three. 45 for Asia Wilson.
Inside, outside, she does it. Everything.
Van Lith, yes, for three for Haley Van Lith. Wow. Neepkins for the Sun. Van Lith, again. Haley. Final 28 seconds. And Morrow finishes. You love the fight by the Sun. It's going to be a little too. And Morrow at the buzzer. It's no good. Final score in Connecticut. The Aces 101, the Sun 94. Asia Wilson, a 45-point night, the second best game of her regular season WNBA career.